Hello friends, myself Ravi and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will see another structural directive which is ngFor Directive. So without getting late, let's get started. So the first question arises is what is ngFor? So basically ngFor is a structural directive which is used to loop through the list of items and render the list item on the UI. So if you have a list of items, you can use ngFor to render it on the UI. Now let's try to implement ngFor directive so that you will get a better idea of ngFor. So let's open the VS Code. In the app.component.ts, create an animal, let's say property animal equals to, let's say it's an array of the animals. So let's add, so this is an animal array that I have created, and we will try to loop through each element of this array and render it on the UI. Now let's go to app.component.html. Here, let's create one div. In this div, let's add ngFor. So the syntactical way to add ngFor is star and then give ng for the capital F equals to, in the double quotes, we will use a keyword let, which was introduced by ES6, and after that let's add animal of the name of array, which is animals. Let's name this array as animals. Okay, go to your HTML. Now let's bind here this animal. Okay, now let me try to tell you what I'm trying to do. So basically we have written this ngFor. This will loop through the animals. This will loop through the animals array. This animal represents each element of the array. Okay, that's why we have binded this to animal here. So this will loop through this animals array, take the each value of this animal array, and then it will bind it here and render on the UI. Okay, now let's go to our UI and see. So if you see here, you can see this list of item rendered here, right? The lion, tiger, panda and leopard. Now we have some of the keywords that we can use with ngFor. Okay, so we can find the index of each element that we want to render. Okay, for that, in the ngFor, give a semicolon and then use index as I, and here let's again bind I here. Okay, now if you go to your UI, you can see the corresponding index is printed here, right? So we need to know that the index will start from 0. Okay, so 0 is lion, 1 is tiger, 2 is panda, 3 is leopard. Now there are a couple of more keywords that we can use explicitly with this ngFor. So we can use here something like first as f, let's say, and bind this f to here. Now let's go on the UI and see. So if you see, the first element of this array, which is lion, is set as true, right? So basically the first keyword will say which element is the first element of the array, and it will set it to the true. Okay. Similarly, we can also use a keyword that is last, and last as, let's say, L, and let's bind it here. So similarly, it will make the last element of the array as true. Let's go to our UI, and if you see, all these are false and this last element is true, right? Now similarly, we have also odd as O. So whatever the odd element, it will make it as true. Now let's bind it to O. Sorry, let's bind it to O. Let's go to UI. So whatever the odd element is, it will make it to true. So if you see, this is 0, this is even, that's why it is false. 1 is odd, so it is true. Then 2 is even, it is false. And then 3 is odd, that's why it's true. Similarly, we can also use even as E and bind it here. Okay, and if you take a look on the UI, you can see whatever the even element, it is set to the true. So 0 is set to true, 2 is set to true, and all are false. Okay, so this is how you can implement the ngFor into your Angular application. So that's all for ngFor. So if you have any question regarding this tutorial, please comment it below. I will definitely try to answer it. If you haven't subscribed my channel, please do subscribe my channel to get more updates. Thanks and have a nice day.